All right, welcome, folks, to another episode of Grievances, the Star Citizen Report. We broadcast to you every other Saturday from the twitch.tv/grievance. You see some of our information right there. You can see our past episodes on YouTube under Grievance Gaming. And you're looking at the episode tonight from August 22nd. First one after our big Gamescom reveal. We'll see you all again on September 5th. And I will bring you here our cast for tonight. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Star Citizen Report. Next to me, you got Woopnyo.
Hey, everybody.
All right. And we've got two folks joining us for the first time in the show tonight. Got right below me a man who got hijacked just a short while ago, Ansler.
Hello.
And over here, got another person who's been interested in Star Citizen for quite some time. They're Optimus.
Hi, guys.
All right. So welcome these guys to the show. We're going to discuss the news of Star Citizen tonight. And at least we have something to do because, of course, Gamescom was like a big reveal, and then you run into less stuff after that. But, they still give us a lot of things to discuss and talk about here. All right. So we'll just go into mostly there'll be some stuff on Star Marine and a few things that are going to be leading up to multi-crew and the social module. All right. So this past week, some of our updates. The Merlin has been available for backers to fly. Has anyone been flying it? Whoop.
I flown a little bit. They added a little bit of physics. Doesn't have a high top speed or a high acceleration, but it is very maneuverable. Mm-hmm. I think I like it better than my what do I have, the Avenger or the Super Hornet, because I can actually make it in and out of stuff before crashing.
All right. Answer,
Yeah.
Optimus.
I've flown it mostly because I have a Constellation, so I've been able to fly it since they first made it flyable. It's a neat little ship. I'm definitely looking forward to see how it'll work when they tweak things further in the game.
And Answer has been our expert on agile little ships.
You get the M50. How do you think it compares?
Well, the M50 is much faster at 280 instead of 240. And it's also, I think, it handles a bit better. It's not as drifty as the Mustang. But I haven't actually flown the M50 since the update that came with the Mustang, and they have tweaked the performance of pretty much all the ships with that one. So,
yeah, last time we as a group did that race together, it was a lot harder to control the ship than I remembered. I mean, they've given all the ships a fair bit more momentum.
Physics, no.
Well, I did fly the Merlin also. There was a little challenge on a Facebook Star Citizen channel over there where someone was willing to give one away, and one of the things was the highest score in Vanduul Swarm. So I took Merlin out solo against Vanduul Swarm. Actually ran out of time before I ran out of lives, but dogfights took a while. Patio Potato Pan, thanks for the follow. I know, try to say that maybe 5 times quick, but thanks for joining us. Thanks for the follow.
Thanks.
Yeah, so anyways, I played it. My problems with it were too much obscurement down here, so a lot of times I was rolling to see what I was shooting at. I thought I did pretty well. I got to a very long duel with Little King. I'd only lost 1 life up to that point, and I just ran out of time for family-wise. I had to shut it off. I got 5,811 points, only 1 death by that point. I was happy to get that far.
And the thing to consider with the Merlin is that it's a ship that comes with another ship. It's not supposed to be a standalone ship. And for that, it's actually a pretty good platform to bring along with your Constellation.
Yeah, it'll definitely help with the Constellation there. I was able to tag the targets a lot. Of course, I ran out of machine gun ammo, but it is a support ship, a pocket dog fighter. for the Constellation.
The energy weapons really aren't that bad either. They have a pretty good firing rate like that compared to the 325. Those were really slow.
And I did use that a lot. 'Cause like I say, I ran out of machine gun ammo too fast and just had the little wing lasers and was still downing Vandal with those. The other thing... Oh, sorry, I was reading some of the reports. Yes, Memo couldn't make it. Almost had Spin on the show, but he couldn't make it. Which is fine. I'm glad to find a lot more people here who are wanting to be part of this show and discuss Star Citizen.
We've been trying to get Optimus on here for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while.
Let's see. There is also still a Fly Free event going on for non-backers. Now, if you're catching this on YouTube, it's over because this only goes till August 24th. And if you have a friend who doesn't have Star Citizen, you want to get them to play, you better let them know now so they can download it and have some playtime tomorrow, before this is up. All they have to do is go to scflyfree.com and enter the code Gamescom 2015, the number 2015. And then they can get in on it. And I would advise, too, that you let them know what to expect because I've seen at least one complaint out there, a person who got it, was in the hangar, and that they didn't know what else to do. I mean, they just walked around the hangar. So,
Where's the flying part? All I'm doing is walking. Worst space sim ever.
Thanks, Will, for putting that up in the chat for us there. So, yeah, try to get you in. I definitely have been trying to drag some of my friends and family into it, no matter how much they kick and scream. All right. So, let's talk about a little bit of Star Marine, a little of Gamescom coming up here. Sorry, I'm just kind of moving some stuff on my screen. So they were talking about following Gamescom. They had to fix a bunch of broken things that had been fine before. They are merging all the elements of the Star Citizen universe together, and so it's also now that they pushed to get the demonstrations out for Gamescom and that, now they're trying to merge the game as one entity, get all the programming fixed in the background, and make us all a part of one development stream. This also means that they have had not so much additions or new features to talk about, just that they're other than they've added a new updated CryEngine. How old is CryEngine? If I throw that out, anybody know?
Well, they've been working on various branches of the CryEngine 3 since their initial launch in 2012, so at least as old as that, maybe older.
All right. And so, talking, I think, a little more about Star Marine here. They have said that to get Star Marine ready, I think this applies to the social module too, but they're trying to prevent any kind of feature creep right now. Right now, they're just trying to put those future ideas on the shelf so that they can focus on getting these modules released, getting them into our hands here. And I was going to show, hopefully, Steel Hearts at the channel, because I said we were going to talk a bit about this sniper rifle. I got some pictures of it here.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty cool looking gun.
Oh.
Doesn't look like it, but doesn't mean he can't get it later.
Yeah, Arrowhead sniper rifle.
Mm-hmm. It's from last I heard, it was an energy sniper.
Yep,
Your pictures.
shots.
Yep, I fixed it. It was
There we
fixed
go.
before the show, and then and then computers and technology just happened. They have said there is going to be a new game mode planned for Gold Horizon, something objective based, and so they still got to do some work fleshing that out. As far as this sniper rifle that they're talking about, we know that they're tweaking it. The recoil they're kind of dialing down. It was kind of a little all over the place, I guess. Now this rifle has a charging element where you you can start charging it for a more powerful shot, but they've added where it can have an overheat element as well. If you overcharge it, it'll overheat, and then the gun might be disabled for a short while.
Kind of like the plasma pistol in Halo.
But that never overheated. It just and you stuck on your
I
screen.
think in the later games they had it where if you held it too long, it might. I can't remember.
Maybe you're right. Okay, because I only remember like up to 3 or something. So.
They have mentioned too. They've been messing around with the scope texture, and there is going to be a variable zoom. So if you're using your mouse wheel, you can zoom in and out with that thing.
I also, in this image, I'm also seeing the bottom one has no scope attached. Hope that'll be something we can do as well. Detach the scope, use an iron sight for more kind of medium range.
For a sniper rifle?
Well, I mean, if it's got a semi-automatic fire feature, you don't have to use it as a dedicated sniper. You can use it as more kind of a designated kind of marksman rifle as well.
Yeah, I could see that. That could be useful.
I think it'd be nice too. You know that if it's on Gold Horizon, there still is only so much. They were talking about, like, they were still trying to get some of the weapons to properly be zeroed in at 50 yards. Due to changes, not all of them are properly zeroed in. So you figure, at least for the Gold Horizon map, we're still not talking about way far out. I mean, I can see a person no scoping trying to shoot at a close distance. Let's see. Other than that, we know they've been trying to resolve some bugs. I love to report on the bugs. Grenades not blowing up when you're killed while cooking them. So if you're killed and you drop, I insist that the grenade hits you also. Get the full package, That's always funny when I see that happen in some other game. I shoot somebody, a moment later, they're already over there dead, and boom goes off.
Yeah, I do remember from earlier in development they were talking. I'm not sure if it's been made it into what they're working on now, but earlier they said that you'd be able to potentially shoot grenades that were hanging off people's belts and stuff and have them explode as well. But again, I don't know if it's made it into this stage of development or not.
I don't think that they put I don't think they put that in yet. No.
Another thing here, let's see. Magazines not reattaching to weapons. Magazine swapping not appearing visually. And some issue with the arc light having a battery display not working when somebody else joins. Oh, other fixes include an issue with prone movement breaking the ADS. And a crash that if you're being killed during a reload, you crash when you're killed during a reload. There's another one about players standing back up after being killed.
Just a flesh wound. 'Tis but a scratch.
Well, that was actually a feature in Battlefield Hardline. You can get this syringe that when you get shot, except for like in your head or explosion or you get run over or something, you can inject yourself with this and you stand back up. So it was really pissing me off. I'd gun down 3 guys, and I'd start running, and then they'd pop back up. I'm like, what the hell? I just killed you. So.
Man, be fun to have in there. They mentioned the P4 AR rifle will have single burst and auto modes, and that's being tweaked.
Cool. Selectable fire. Very nice.
QA is currently doing a thorough check of the bad spots that are giving trouble, getting players trying to move or shoot through. So they're trying to find all those things and solve them for us. I'm going to put a picture here of the Devastator. I believe this must be shotgun or whether energy or I think I've seen this weapon before. I think it's a shotgun type. I'm sure if anyone else was a little more familiar with it.
We'll see. Yeah, from the reticle, it looks like a shotgun. It might be the electric shotgun that they keep talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not seeing it fire in these images yet, so
Right.
not entirely sure. Oh, yeah, that is the electric shotgun. I can tell by the magazine.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. Yeah, we'd seen like a demo of that before. And they also put out in very technical language, the glowing goo is gone from the Devastator D12 magazine. Ah.
It's from lightning bugs. They just crush them up.
Alright. And they say just some of the other gameplay blockers. The audio team still has more work to do. They sound like they're doing positional and ambient battle noise as well. Trying to optimize their server stability. Ladders still have occasional glitches.
Yeah, Ladders and Star Citizen have a very troubled history, even back to
Take
the
the
early
elevator.
hangar. Back in the earliest hangar module, the Selfland, or what was then calling the basic hangar, I believe, had a ladder in it that had some animation issues.
Oh wow. They changed from a V5 to a V7 rig. Now, whenever I hear rig, I think that's referring to like
The
their
skeleton.
skeleton, yeah. Which meant a lot of retargeting of several weapons. I think that's what we're kind of talking about, trying to zero them in. Over 3,000 animations they've been collaborating on.
Yeah, they said that they actually finished the retargeting within 2 weeks, and they had originally thought that it would have taken them 2 months, so that was well ahead of schedule.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like this picture too. I was trying to figure out what the little flash of lights was down there. Somehow I think this player can see that there's a player on the other side, but I notice on the left it says so-and-so took the easy way out. So I'm assuming some explosion went off over there. Who knows?
Oh, you mean the little orange bullet holes?
Is that what it is? Like, is he firing?
Yeah.
That?
Those are bullet holes.
Oh, okay.
It's probably from the energy weapon that he's holding.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking of it in that perspective. Okay. So now, they did mention when they were discussing the rest of this that the multi-crew release will have all those elements also in it, the first-person shooter. Now I don't know if that means how much actual first-person shooter you're going to do, but that made me think. So the multi-crew, does that mean you can have some EVA fights? Maybe some boarding action if somebody leaves their door open?
Maybe, but at the very least, they need all the animations for the multi-crew so that the movement around the ships and stuff are working properly. That's the biggest impact that FPS has on multi-crew.
So, man, I was looking forward to it. Even if it is any potential of boarding the ship as early as multi-crew. Because, there's people been looking forward to that.
I think that's part of the best part of this game.
Gosh.
That way I don't have to fly. Yay!
And when they talked about this stuff, I'm going to show some just some video on some of the background set up for Gamescom. But the thing is, yes, when they were talking about some of this stuff, they said multi-crew ships. That's entirely what they've been trying to shoot for and achieve for this game. That's kind of like the backbone of it, getting out there with your friends and being able to cooperate and do all these things.
Well, yeah, the multi-crew ship is a pretty big feature that sets it apart from a lot of the space sims out today. Most of them are all just single ship or one person commanding an entire battle cruiser via some sort of AI plugin or something. Mm-hmm. The whole idea of a couple of friends, or the Millennium Falcon type gameplay where you get your crewmates into the turret and shoot down the fighters chasing you. That whole idea is not very common in the market. It's pretty cool to see it done to this scale of visual fidelity.
Yeah. And they did say, as far as that Gamescom stuff, they wanted to show us how things worked live rather than some pre-scripted, like prearranged demo going off. It leaves open the possibility that bugs would happen, but they want us to show the game working as it was working. And they did say that they hope we love the constellation explosion. I really wish Memo was on the show tonight so we could ask how well he loved the constellation explosion.
While everything was done in that demo in real time by people, certain events were, I felt, very scripted in that for the Constellation versus Retaliator fight, for example. It felt like they had pretty much intended for the Retaliator to win, even to the point where the Constellation had intentionally stopped moving to get hit by torpedoes. So, I mean, it's not a true representation of how that fight would go in the persistent universe, in my opinion.
Well, and they kind of said they goofed up because the Constellation still managed to damage the Retaliator enough that they couldn't finish doing what they wanted to do the first time around.
Yeah, I think in the first time around, when the guy went to the thing, to the power management, he may have accidentally disabled some systems for the Retaliator. I went back and looked at the video, and yeah, I think he did accidentally disable weapons or something.
Why is there one click button to do that? Like, wouldn't it seem like one click to turn it on? Yeah, okay, but off?
But, they did definitely, they did have a direction they wanted to take that. So, yeah, everyone can assume it might have been a little different. Like the fact that everybody left the Cutlass. You got to leave one person behind in the Cutlass, or you saw what happened. Constellation snuck in and blew it up. So something you don't want to do in the real universe.
Another thing, the Constellation's supposed to have upwards of 20 to 30 missiles. We did not see it launch even a fraction of that.
Maybe you didn't have those modules loaded?
You'd be kind of crazy not to have all your missiles loaded before you go out on a mission.
I need more water in that hot tub, dude. Okay?
So let's talk to let's move along to some other news here. Now SciTech building a joystick, and they've said for the first time they are going to also do open development. So they're going to be taking in input from the fans on its development.
Hope SciTech's prepared for that.
Yes.
They had, the 3 up there, right, on the screen?
They showed the lower end joystick and throttle combo. They showed the higher end joystick and throttle, and then they showed a keyboard and mouse. They also showed a couple of kind of color variants on the lower end one for different manufacturers. They showed like an RSI, an Anvil Aerospace, and a third one that I can't remember the manufacturer. But those were just different decals on it. They weren't different models exactly.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
Huh? And yes, we'll see. I'm looking forward to that. I know they're probably going to get slammed with suggestions. Oh, good luck to them. I'd be interested to see what they come out with too, and hopefully I can afford it.
Yeah, the high-end joystick looks interesting, especially if that screen on it is a touch screen. That would be interesting indeed.
Let's see, I was going to say it looks like Gamescom attendees got some special stuff too. Got some swag for going there. There was a Constellation pin, which they said was going to be kind of a new thing, getting a pin of a starship when they go into those big conventions. There's going to be there was a Gladius glider that they gave out.
Yeah, that was kind of neat. It was like a little kind of, those airplane things you put together. Yeah. Not exactly a paper airplane, but similar.
Yeah, a Hunter comic and some limited edition poster depicting Cologne, Germany, and 2945. And that was signed by the development team.
Oh, that's cool.
those are some pretty nice things to have. But they need to have, so they need to start having a major convention up in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. Bring it near me so I can attend.
That'd be nice.
Let's see. They said too there's a new video on the website that greets folks when they come on, and it was a pretty short one. And I was looking at it earlier, it was like a 20-second video.
I don't remember seeing the video, but
Let's see if I can pull it up here real quick. Just
don't
grab
hurt
it.
yourself now.
All right. Play in a moment here. I don't have any.
Really good. There's animation issues. They're just going to take
Looks like one
a
of our
little more time,
viewers
but
actually went
you
there.
can follow all those with our weekly updates. Here's another piece you likely
Tactic
did miss.
88.
We created a
Shout
new
out.
video.
I am. It's going to start just a moment here. I quiet it, but I'll get some sound in with it here.
Here it is.
Yeah, I wish I could go to those events. Germany and other foreign countries like California.
That's not too far off.
Alrighty.
I am a PC game indeed.
So that was a nice little video, though. Even still kind of short, but it's something new for him. And we talked about. Oh yeah, I was going to ask something here. There was a little mention, still in these around the verse notes about ships, and we'll get to the Vanguard in a moment. But we had the chance. So what all ships do you guys have? Optimus, Ansler.
So I've got the Super Hornet and the Freelancer Dur right now. I'm kicking around the Retaliator, but we'll see how much I'm going to break my bank.
I've got the M50 Interceptor, the 350R, and the Constellation Phoenix.
I got the
Definitely looking forward.
Super Hornet and Avenger. I want to see the Avengers come out with the not skins, the modules. I want to see what that's gonna bring.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it'll be interesting to see for the Constellation what they might come out with. I mean, we've already seen variants. And I know that's in my notes here too. Some ships are going to have variants. Some ships are going to have different modules. The Constellation's a kind of ship I'm interested in seeing. I think maybe they might have some modules in the future. I'd like to know.
I think they did mention Constellation modules.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see.
And now for me, make it fair since I have the Mustang. The Racer that wasn't publicly available is the Racer you got for owning a certain video card, grabbing it last year. So that's the one I got. Super Hornet, which is my oldest ship, and the Freelancer Max. Now, if I'd known things a little differently, I might have went with a different hauler, that the hull came down the line and such. But, the Freelancer was one of my first ships. It's got stuff connected to it, so I'm sticking with that one. I still can't believe Novatech has only one ship.
What does he have?
He had a Freelancer.
Well, he could upgrade
I
it
forget
still.
which one.
It's not.
There's
like he's
nothing wrong with
losing
only
out.
having one ship. It's not
If-
like you're going to fly all your ships at the same time anyways.
True.
You want someone to hand you an Aurora? or
I feel
something?
he's got an
What's wrong?
iron will, though, at this point.
Freelancer's
so-
a good ship if it's your only one. Freelancer's very versatile. It's got cargo capabilities that can handle itself in a fight. It's it's a good ship.
That
Just
reminds
keep
me, though, I
flying.
think the Max doesn't start with that turret on the back. That's going to be my first expenditure in-game when I go to fly that thing.
To be honest, we're not sure what the Freelancers will have as default equipment. They're currently undergoing a slight redesign, so we're not sure what they're going to end up with.
All right. By the way, I was glad in our live audience, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, Tactiker88. Looks like he had a chance to go to Gamescom, get some swag. Man. Great job. We are jealous.
No fair.
Vanguard variants. It says they're still working on the Vanguard variants and the Drake Herald. The Vanguard variants. So Answer, you're thinking next week we're going to see that?
Yes, they said on Thursdays around the verse that the Vanguard variants will be on sale next Friday. There are going to be 2 variants, the names of which I can't remember, but it is on the website. Let me see. Give me 2 seconds.
Late.
I am late. I'm sorry. Here it is. So there is going to be the Vanguard Sentinel at $275 and the Vanguard Harbinger at $295. The standard
Wow.
model is being named the Vanguard Warden.
Okay.
How much is
that's
the
good to
modules going to be? Because the Vanguard was what, 250? So it's got to be like 40, 30 or 40 something.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they'll be selling the modules here at all. I think they're going to be doing the variants. Modules, if any, will be later down the line.
All right. And I was just getting a little video there, the sneak peek that they did give us of the Vanguard.
Yeah,
Also
we
said
haven't.
something up there.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
they gave us a sneak peek on the interior, at the end of Around the Verse. Not sure if it's for any of the variants specifically, though.
Sorry.
I'm just going down here. Oh, they are also creating a period of elements, which will be the raw elemental data that you mine and use to create stuff in Star Citizen. So that's happening right now.
The periodic table?
Yeah, they're basically doing a simplified periodic table of what's important to mine and what's found in asteroids, etc. From a gameplay perspective, not like from a 100% realism perspective. Although I'm sure they'll take realism into account.
Because, like, organic chemistry is different from regular chemistry. Yeah, okay.
Well, it's like, I don't know, I suppose it gets down to things like, here I've been back into playing SOTOR, Star Wars, The Old Republic lately, and you get the silica dash aluminum kind of stuff like that, which you go back and do crafting. So I'm sure they're just building something similar, some materials that you're going to mine and then throw together. And yeah, folks are asking who's producing. That's me. I'm the man in front of, not behind the curtain. Yeah.
Pay no attention to the man in front of the curtain. I don't think it works quite the same.
People paid the big bucks to see you. Come on, Thamin.
Let's see. Otherwise, this month's subscribers flare. So subscribers got a model of the Starfare that they were quick to say that's not the same Starfare for folks who bought the Gemini. So they've also said that the Scythe has been unlocked for Imperator level subscribers in AC. Anyone here subscribed?
Not anymore. I was subscribed for a while, but I ran out.
And me too. And
I'm putting my money into this game. I'm getting the ship out of it.
Ship shape. The one from Around the Verse 56 episode, anyways, examine more the Go system, the game object state. Normally they've been a great program I've been looking forward to because they go into such detail on the ships and that. But here they talk about everything is ordered in the states and state groups so that the computer doesn't try to interrupt actions that are in progress. So they gave an example like for locks to work for key holders, or maybe those same locks might break if someone's trying to actually break into the lock. We saw kind of an example of this on the Gamescom demo where they turned on the power in the Retaliator. We saw the gas jets turn on, gravity restored, and basically the system takes a lot of pressure off of the processor. And speaking of which, I remember jumping ahead into the Around the Verse 57 notes. I was looking for what they said about the asteroids. All those asteroids in the Gamescom demo, They said trying to render all those. Here we go. It was like taking 20 milliseconds to render all of them, and then they did some work and they cut it down to 1 millisecond to render all those asteroids.
Basically, what they did with all the asteroids was that they took all the separate meshes of the asteroids and merged them into a single mesh, which is what allowed them to reduce the draw call. It's basically one of those tricks you do in game development to, make things work better.
Stop it.
I see the comments of the phone going into the live chat.
I don't know who the hell has my phone number to call me in the middle of this, but damn it.
Let's see, what else can we say here? The 1.2 release, the social module. So that's going to get released out to the persistent test universe. And they have said that it's going to be released in small steps, like back when Arena Commander came out. So there'll be a small number of like 1,000 to 2,000 players that'll be testing it. So
we don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
We don't know the exact numbers, but yeah, they'll release it in stages based on your citizen number. So it's first come, first serve.
And that's the next thing I was thinking. Everyone's going to be looking at their citizen number again. When did I get in on this? All right, so sorry to kind of see it as a step release, but then again, that's probably for the better as well. It's probably easier for them to help track down bugs and bad issues and not get like slammed with however many subscribers they have now hitting that thing all at once. All right. So they're also trying to design the ship pipeline coming up as far as what they're going to need down the course of the next year. And I noticed this time it's not just the ships anymore that they got to discuss. Now they got to discuss the modules too and how that's going to come into play. So
and the components still.
Mm-hmm. So still kind of just something new to add to the ship pipeline.
Said that they're not using the citizen number. That means I might actually be able to play with you guys. I don't have to wait 3 months. Don't give me false hope.
I don't know.
It's not cool.
I don't know where Tacky's getting the info, but they've always used citizen number.
I'm gonna cry now.
he might know. Hey, Tac Tiger was able to go to Gamescom, right? So now you're official rumor knower or whatever. But he's saying they don't use citizen numbers this time.
Isn't it just what I said like 40 seconds ago?
I guess I was quoting the source. I didn't hear you quote the source. Let's see. A new rig for character skeletons. And I thought this was not specifically that, for hero characters is how they kind of phrased it on the show.
Oh, yeah, they talked about making specific skeletons for the main characters that you're going to be seeing in Squadron 42. So, like, if some actor played a role, that they're going to develop the skeleton to more closely match their physical attributes. So, the animations and just variances make sense.
Totally need Tynion Lannister in this now. That'd be awesome.
So I thought that was pretty good there. Also, Foundry 42, they discussed a bit about, of course, that nice quantum dry blur effect. I loved it. I mean, what did you guys think about it?
I thought it was really neat in the video. Got to see Gamescom there. That was exciting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, especially from inside the ship. I still think it needs a little bit of work seeing another ship go into quantum drive. To be honest, it just kind of looked like it moved really fast. There was no real effect as far as I could see from the videos. Watching another ship enter quantum,
which was still nice. I think I kind of like that too, because you at least saw some of the landmarks pass by. We flew past some planets, some moons there. So it is kind of a mix. I mean, on one hand, there's an effect. On the other hand, it's just a little trick of visibility, and you kind of see still like where you're going or what's going on. And so I'm just throwing some pictures I still had of Sadaball uniforms that they've been working on.
Still looks like heavily inspired from the Enders game, where they're taking the
I
inspiration
think.
for the whole Astra mod arena thing or whatever they're calling it.
I still got to catch that movie someday.
You still haven't seen it?
No, there's quite a bunch of list of movies that are on my list.
Wow.
Let's
Okay.
see. Oh, so here's two where they've had to work on the damage system for ships, and now they have to include those different modules as part of the damage system.
Yep. From the outside, though, it may not be that. I mean, a lot of the modules for different locations may more or less be the same on the exterior, so it might not be too difficult in the end. The interior, though, might cause some issues.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to just kind of, while we're chatting here, I'm just going to show some more video because since I showed that, I realized this guy was talking about helmets also on that Around the Verse. So I'll just kind of let some of that video play in the background. Folks can see some of the different things they've been working on there.
Yeah, I think they showed, 3 helmets in that video that I can remember? What were you going to say, what?
Something about that.
What kind of helmets are you guys going to use while you're in the university?
Not entirely sure.
There's going to be a flight suit one, of course. Then there's of course going to be a fighting one, so you can switch, with your gear. But there's going to be like 4 or 5 different styles. Everyone's going to be specialized for something. What are you guys going to be going for?
I think it's going to depend on my characters because I do try to give my characters different personalities. The one I'm planning on starting, Squadron 42, military man, I'm sure I definitely will have a military helmet all the time, but normally I would be like helmetless. Like it would be some kind of little visor or glasses type thing.
I don't know. There's going to be, I mean, in the end game, the persistent universe, there's going to be a lot of equipment to choose from. Different manufacturers, different grades, different, uses. It's not going to be like just, 10 helmets in the world. No, there's going to be a lot of them out there, just like with clothing. It's going to be a wide kind of variety. And so I guess I'll just see what I like and what's cool and what's useful and go from there.
Okay.
When FPS comes around, though, I'll probably be using lightweight armor.
What about you, Ed? Ram?
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm indifferent at this point. I'm like Thamin's strategy. Kind of depends on the character I'm playing, but I'd say more than likely military. If I had to pick right now.
I'd like to see them do like what they did with the Gladius, or not the Gladius. Jeez, what the captured ship? What the hell's that called again?
Retaliator?
The glaive or something?
Oh, the glaive, yeah.
Okay. So, like, the humans took it over and then they redid the UI and stuff. I'd like to see them do that in the helmet later on as well. So that we can get the exterior look that you want and then have the UI change as you want it to be. Look and play modules. I think that'd be a really cool idea.
They did talk about being able to customize your UI, get different UIs, maybe like kind of as a in-fiction app type thing. So there's that. Don't know how it'll be implemented exactly though, but they did talk about UI customization at some point.
What does the live audience think? Are you going to be wearing a cool helmet and showing it off, or are you kind of ones that more like go for like hit a hide helmet button if you're able to? Let's see. Just kind of.
I don't think you're gonna be able to hide your helmet in space. Like if you're EVA, I think you'd have to have your helmet on.
Yeah, I think a lot about this game look like that might not even be an option with the realism that they're going forward, but that's what I just thought might be interesting to ask. Who would if they could? All right. Oh,
It's like hide helmet, of course.
I'm definitely a helmet only as necessary kind of person. I don't think I'd be wearing one around all the time.
They really do limit your view. They've already got that in the training module. So when you have to like fly up and then over and then up again, that was a little disorienting.
I still haven't done the training.
Oh, you got to try it.
When you hit that R button, just be ready. That's all I'm gonna say.
When you're supposed to lift off vertically to go through the doors, you get next to the doors, then they'll sense you and wait for them to open. You know, don't just fly up to them. You'll smack it every time.
And don't, when you go all the way up, don't go like all the way up. There's a wall there. There's a door. So you go up. It's like an airlock thing. If you just hold down R, you're gonna.
I actually use an analog joystick for my vertical and left and right thrust.
So I was just thinking, I know Ansler's beyond joystick, so yes, he will be analog, slowly moving somewhere if he wants to. The rest of us are kind of on the keyboard, hit the button, try not to move too fast. They've also said, though, another thing coming up is a ship status. They're going to make this as a static website or page eventually. Where is your ship at? And you can look up by ship, like find out where you're at, what you're waiting on. Which would be a good question. Like, I know the Freelancer Max has, I think a good amount of that has been done at one point, even if it's going through it, because pilots used to get stuck sitting in the seat. I don't know if the Freelancer Der has, likewise then, if it might have a different look if you were to walk into that one.
Well, for the Freelancer specifically, and I mentioned it earlier on the show, they are currently undergoing a minor redesign, and I hear it's actually grown in size since what's in the hangar right now. So from what I hear, it's a bit longer now.
Let's see. I was going to get, folks, normally we have like another 10 minutes of the broadcast here. So I was going to try to get through some other things. I think mostly Retaliator module Q&A. They had a few interesting things come out of that. Part of it was a reminder. They reiterated if you originally bought the Retaliator, that is now basically a base Retaliator with the 2 torpedo modules and with LTI, and that folks can still feel free to swap any of those out with a new module. Likewise, they had to make insurance on the ship and the module separate, so to cover instances just like that. They also said if you have a base Retaliator and you try to fly with no modules, large portions of it will be inaccessible.
That's really good. I like that.
Yeah. I'd be interested in seeing a little picture or tour of a Retaliator like that.
I'd like to be flying one of those and then get boarded. And they're like, where do I go? Stuck in some dead space.
Let's see. Oh, and this one, and I was looking forward to it. They did say that dropship will tie into gameplay that they intend to introduce in Star Marine. They do envision a future where there'll be a need to deliver Marines to hot landing zones on planets or boarding larger ships. I don't know. Can you fit a Retaliator in the back end of someone's Idris? Try to sneak it in like that?
Not the Idris, but you can probably fit it into the hangar bay of, say, a Bengal. Or a Vandul King ship, or other such large Vandul ship.
Pretty sure it would fit in a reclaimer.
In pieces, maybe.
There you go. You might not want to go into that chamber. A mouth opens up, you fly in, and all of a sudden these gears come down. Like, uh-oh. Let's see. What else? They said modules will likely start appearing in-game after the release of Arena Commander 2.0. They also said they'll plan things like a mining module for the Retaliator as well, but like they said, it just won't be as efficient as a dedicated Orion ship. So you can have the variety, but some ships are still going to be better at certain roles than others.
Of course.
Yeah. They even said living space will allow the Retaliator to do something similar to the passenger transport system they discussed before.
Yeah, but less on a mass transport and more on kind of a Millennium Falcon level, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, smuggle a farmer kid and an old man and a couple of droids to a planet that ends up getting destroyed by a small moon. But wait, that's no moon.
There's
I
not going to be a
l-
piano, I bet.
And I like that they said too, and I'm kind of jumping now down to 10 for the producers. Uh, Release dates, they've said, they of course appreciate they don't have a parent company looking over their shoulders, because you'll see published games where they commit a sales date for the retail stores, and they either have to like release it and send out patches to fix something I've always hated in a lot of games these days. It's like I want to buy a finished game. Or yes, if they have to, they move a deadline back. Star Citizen can move a deadline back, and well, we know what happens on the forums when they do that.
What did that guy say whenever he says a release date or something? It's like putting a quarter in a dick buckery machine. Yeah, keep that in mind, okay?
Uh, Moving on. I thought it was also funny. They asked Lisa Ohanian how many individuals touch a ship in development. Maybe I didn't move on from the subject for enough. Now we're touching the ships. Can be like to 30 to 40 people. And that's even before the QA and the bugs, and they have to go
And
back
marketing.
and take a look at it. And marketing, yep. I was going to jump down. They did say that they're also finally able to assign some people to this backlog of bugs that they've had. Some of them have been in the game for quite some time. But, there's still got to be certain priorities as far as what's coming up, what they look at. But it just sounded good that they've got more personnel to kind of get back into these other issues that have been plaguing the game for a while. Somebody asked about supporting tablets and network ideas. Some folks, as far as like trying to use tablets and other computers as like spare Star Citizen screens, adaptable. It's weird because they gave their answer, and yet I thought I've seen other people already trying stuff like that, and I don't know how they set it up. Star Citizen made it sound like they can't commit to being able to do this until they just see how the game evolves. They like the idea, they just couldn't commit to anything there.
Well,
What
that
would you have
kind of
it
feature,
do?
especially when it comes to multiple screens, is usually done after they optimize the game. That's kind of an additional feature that comes later in the development cycle, much like VR support.
Yeah.
Well, what would you have it do? You'd have it do the MOBA glass. Battlefield had it for changing your gear before you spawned and having a map, but like having an actual like monitor in game that I don't think that'll work well.
There
Uh,
is a
No,
oh,
like
sorry.
setting up the tablet on your desk, almost it was a spare monitor that you could do other functions.
There is actually a group of fans that created a tablet app for that. It does connect and does communicate with the game, but that's not officially supported by Cloud Imperium.
Okay. So something we might see if folks are willing to try it. Although, yeah, who knows what bugs would be down the line for that then. I think we're getting close to the end of the show here. I do have at least one more thing to bring up, but I thought I'd still throw it out there for anybody. Anything else they kind of wanted to bring up as far as the latest news and what they've been seeing lately?
Hmm?
Anything y'all want to freeform about before we close out for the night?
Remy?
I'm good. I'm just excited for this game. I wish it'd hurry up.
Yeah, the wait is kind of annoying, but it's also necessary, I suppose, to get it at this kind of level of fidelity and quality.
Was that you? Okay, since the lights are flickering and the lightning's going off, I'm going to have to cut this here. One last picture, and if you stay to look at this picture, all I can say, some things cannot be unseen. All right, I warned you.
Oh
Okay,
god.
here it is. The Hello Kitty Hornet.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
Yes, don't do it. I'm not going to be doing it. All right, folks. Again, I'm just going to put our information up here again. We'll see y'all again September 5th, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Grievance's Twitch channel for more news as far as the Star Citizen universe.
Who even does that?
And hopefully we will see the social module by the time of the next show. It's supposed to be out, right?
We'll see.
We'll see, yeah.
Thank you all. Have a good evening.
All right.